Okay, it's time for another episode of the Josh Cast. The podcast that I do as I navigate the end of the world, or perhaps it's a new beginning. Every end is a new beginning. Every end is a new beginning. Yeah, we'll see. I really don't know what's going to go down. And the other assumption, for instance, is that something else won't come along right after this that's just as bad, if not worse. That's why I'm not a fan of people who say, don't worry, it's going to be okay. You don't know that. It might not be okay. We have no idea if it's going to be okay or not. I don't like that phrase. I don't like when people say that. Maybe we should just stop giving each other any kind of consolation. Man, I'm really doing badly. Yes, you are. Yes, you are doing badly. I acknowledge that. I see that. I'm in agreement. Do you think it's going to get better? Oh, God, no. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Do you think it's going to get better? Yes. How do you think it's going to get better? Death is release. That's how. So I'm operating under this theory. I really think this is true, that I feel like everything is dictated by money, especially where the government is concerned. And that somebody sat down, did some number crunching, and they determined that if we open up during this coronavirus crisis, somehow it will lead to, it will cost more money than if we remain shut down. So as bad as the economy is, and as horrifying as it is, it would have been worse, or they think it would have been worse, if we had reopened. So it's not about saving lives, it's about money. That's my theory. And it's very cynical, which can only mean that it's true. If it cost less money, if it was better for business to reopen, I feel like we would have reopened by now. Now Trump keeps saying, "Oh, I want everyone to reopen." So this really doesn't prove that Trump is, wrong. I think people are attacking him for not being sensitive to people's health, and that's irrelevant. The issue, my concern, if my theory is true and he's saying we should reopen, my concern is that it's bad business. We know that no one cares about human life. That's a given. But I want a president who is going to make smart financial decisions. Boy, I'll tell you who's winning right now is DoorDash and Grubhub. Those websites. Which is what, run by a dude in a basement? I had diarrhea this morning, ladies, because I've been eating poorly. Poor diet, my friends, poor diet. Too much Frosted Flakes. Really, any degree of Frosted Flakes is too much. but they're so darn delicious. Frosted Flakes. They're exceptional. That's not it, Tony. You're supposed to say they're great. They're great. Yeah, I don't want to say that anymore. Tony, that's your catchphrase. I don't want to say it anymore. I'm growing as a tiger and as a performer. And my vocabulary is much bigger. Frosted Flakes, they're prodigious. That doesn't even make sense. Can you find, all right, if you're going to do this, can you find a word that starts with G that means great, but that at least we get the grr in there to recognize that you're a tiger? I think I'm beyond that. I don't need to, I don't think we need to telegraph to people that I'm a tiger. It's very clear that I'm a tiger. You know, you should be lucky I'm not even fighting you on the alliteration of Tony the Tiger, because I'd prefer to go by Anton. All right, let me try this. Frosted Flakes. They're fantastorific. All right, fantastorific's not a real word. Well, Shakespeare invented words. If Shakespeare did it, why can't I? Why can't I, Anton the Tiger, invent words? Fantastorific. Well, that was a fun moment, wasn't it? Oh, there's a refrigerator in the street. Not in the street, but next to the street. What's the story behind that refrigerator? Perhaps Indiana Jones just used it to avert getting melted in a nuclear explosion. Oh, that scene. That scene. Not a fan of that scene. Too unbelievable. But it's an Indiana Jones movie, Josh. Why are you being so critical when it's an Indiana Jones movie? Think about what you just said, Josh. It is. Can I tell you something? I'm gonna be honest. I think it's more in the Indiana Jones world. I think it's more believable that we will find the Lost Ark and a bunch of Jewish ghosts will come out and melt our faces. That is more believable to me than Indiana Jones surviving in a refrigerator during a nuclear explosion. Definitely. I know my Jewish relatives. They would want nothing more than to have the opportunity to fly out of an ark and melt Nazi faces. That seems somehow just way more plausible. Way more plausible to me. And that tells you what I know about science. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of Spielberg and Lucas. Just not a huge fan of that moment. Gotta be honest. But I can't help but wonder if even Spielberg and Lucas, by the time they're making Crystal Skull and there's backlash, they're like, it's what? Really? This is what you're complaining about? We need an Indiana Jones movie that's grounded. The guy's name is Indiana Jones. Why am I complaining about this? I can't complain about a movie being not grounded enough when the main character's name is Indiana Jones. Nobody has that name. The only name that's crazier is Buckaroo Banzai. One of my favorite moments in Buckaroo Banzai was the closing shot of the movie where all the main characters, I think even the ones that had died, are just walking towards the camera with rock music playing in the background, looking very like, yeah, this was a fun movie we just made. That's the best ending to a movie ever. I think the only thing keeping Highlander 2 from being a perfect movie is having an ending like that. Where Christopher Lambert and Sean Connery and Virginia Madsen are just all walking towards the camera and there's rock music playing. Sean Connery's slapping Christopher Lambert on the back of the shoulder going, "We did it. We made a movie." Nothing's better than that, people. Nothing is better than that. Here's my new favorite thing. Seeing somebody walking outside and they're wearing the mask around their neck. They have the mask. Not Corona. Probably not Corona, that coughing. I think that's from my mask. Because I want a cool-looking mask, so it's painted with rayon or something. And that's probably going to kill me faster than the virus. See, I'm having a good time with this podcast. Just talking. I was dragging my feet at the thought of doing this podcast, but then I said, no, let's do the podcast. Let's just do it and get it out there. And see what happens. They're resplendent. Tony, please, just do the line. Tony, we might have to get another tiger. Fine. I'm totally willing to walk away from this. I have an audition for The Life of Pi. Ang Lee isn't going to make me say, "They're great. We got it. Thank you." No. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean for you to get that. I was just saying that as an example. You did it. You beat me. You corporate monsters. You're greedy. We never said we weren't. We need to get the commercial for the cereal. By the way, we've stopped saying it's part of a balanced breakfast because who are we kidding? I'm suddenly very tired. This happens when I'm up early and then I just get this wave of fatigue. I gotta say, though, it certainly is a lot clearer in Los Angeles. The sky looks completely different. The Burbank Mountains are now much clearer. It's insane. Truly insane, people. Truly insane. I do not know what the future will hold. Ultimately, my theory is that we're suffering the way we are because Doc Brown decided to stay in the past instead of living in the present timeline and creating inventions that would save us. And I don't feel like I'm the first one to have that premise. There's not a doggone thing I can do with that premise. But I see a lot more cars out. The car wash is back. Auto dealerships are back, it seems. Things are starting to reopen again. Really not sure what to make of all this jazz. And all that jazz, Diva, and all that jazz. Start the car, I know a whoopee spot where the gin is cold but the piano's hot. All that jazz. Which is a musical you can do with jazz. Not a musical you can do with the accordion. Why don't you go to the place where the gin is lukewarm and the accordion is also lukewarm? Accordion. That's not at all what an accordion sounds like. That's an insult to accordion people everywhere. Accordion people. That's, I think, what I'm calling people who like accordion music. I shouldn't bash on the accordion. I think the accordion is the one musical instrument that has a sense of humor. The accordion. It's like a piano combined with an iron lung, the accordion. I played the bass when I was growing up, not the guitar, not the bass. I played the cello for a year. It pissed me off because the guy who played the bass they kept at the school, so he didn't have to schlep it. But the cello, I had to bring it to and from school. Oh, that was brilliant idea. Why? I know, I'm the smallest kid in the class. I'll choose the largest instrument that I have to schlep. I did it for a year and then I couldn't do it anymore. I stopped. All right, well, I think I gotta go take another poop again. This was fun. We should do it again.